£40 million. Bournemouth value him upwards of 70 million. So whether PSG, the European champions, decide to go in again for Ilya Zabani, the 22-year-old Ukrainian centre-back, only time will tell. But you'd imagine if they go for a first and second offer, their pursuit of the player is going to continue until they get their man. They just have to pay what Bournemouth want. OK,
what's going on with Bryan Mbeumo? Because I was just asking Sebastian Bass on there whether he'd like to see him at Tottenham. But Manchester United seem to be in the driving seat.
At the moment, it feels like he's headed to Old Trafford. We know that there were a number of sides that were interested in Bryan Mbeumo. His record since joining Brentford in 2019 has been phenomenal. He's just coming off the back of his best ever season with regards to goals and assists. He's a key part of that Brentford side. But once again, his contract is running down. Hence why Manchester United are seeing this as an opportunity. We know that there is interest from Tottenham as well. We know that there were other sides in the Premier League that were keen on Mbeumo, but it looks like he's heading to Old Trafford. They're just preparing a second offer, which they're hoping will get the player.
Right, let's bring you the latest transfer news now. You can see Mark McAdam has rejoined me. Mark, let's start by talking about Liverpool, because Florian Wirtz confirmed last night, but you've got some more news to tell us on Liverpool concerning Kwanzaa and interest in Gay.
Yeah, two players, one potentially leaving Liverpool. Jarell Quansah, he's out with the England under-21s at the moment. We understand there's a deal that's been agreed with Bayer Leverkusen, which is around 40 million euros, around 34 million pounds. However, that won't happen imminently because he's still in a major tournament. So that will probably happen after the tournament is done. But we understand that one, club to club, is virtually all but agreed. Just a case of medical and personal terms to be sorted for Jarell Quansah. But it means that Arne Slot is going to lose a centre-back. We also know that Konate is going into the last year of his Liverpool contract. So therefore, potentially, do they have their eye on bringing in centre-backs? Yes, they do. One player of interest, but yet to have any formal kind of dialogue with Crystal Palace is the Crystal Palace defender Mark Gay. He's into the last year of his contract. Of course, an FA Cup winner, someone that's been watched by a number of other Premier League sides. There was that long, ongoing pursuit from Newcastle last summer where I think it was their fourth or their fifth offer got rejected by Crystal Palace, which is around £65 million. But he's another player into the last 12 months of his contract. And because of that Premier League experience, there are a number of sides interested in him, one of those being Liverpool.
And what about what's going on at Bournemouth? Because we know Liverpool potentially about to sign a player from Bournemouth. What about other outgoings as well? Yeah,
that will be Milos Kerkez. We know that that deal is agreed, £40 million. He's likely to have his medical on Tuesday, so that will get confirmed probably Tuesday night, Wednesday. And in terms of the other players potentially leaving Bournemouth, and the fans won't like me for saying this, but Ilya Zabani looks like he could potentially have played his last game for Bournemouth. There was a second offer from PSG this week that was rejected. We understand that offer to be £55 million.
To talk more transfers, so we're going to talk Manchester United now. Mark, the latest on Jadon Sancho's future.
Yeah, just 1 year left on his Old Trafford deal. You get the feeling that he'll be departing Manchester United this summer. The latest team to show their interest, Juventus of Serie A. We know that Napoli have also been at the table and inquired as to his availability. They've now been joined by Juventus. We know that Borussia Dortmund have also made a couple of calls just to find out what the deal potentially could be. So, yeah, one to keep an eye on, Jadon Sancho, into his last year at Old Trafford. Only a matter of time now before he gets a new move.
OK, yeah, Michael, let's talk Andre Onana. Had a mixed time last season. Is he heading for the exit this summer, do you think?
Well, possibly. There's interest from Monaco. They're exploring potentially that deal. Look, there's been some high-profile errors. We know Ruben Amorim wants to change the squad pretty much completely. They don't have the Champions League football carrot of extra finances, but you'd imagine Manchester United might look to do that deal if the figures are right for them.
OK, yeah, Mark, let's talk Scotland, because the Scottish Premiership fixtures were announced today. You can check SKYSPORTS.com and the app for all of the details on the fixtures. But there's been some, as he arrived, obviously people were saying Bryan Mbeumo, potentially, to come along with him. Knows him very, very well, has thrived under him. Can you see it happening, Michael?
If I was predicting now, I could still probably see him going to Manchester United.
Oh, OK.
Because it seems like his heart was set on there, and then it's, oh, hang on.
Is a done deal at £80 million, with payment sent and medical booked, per The Athletic. Eintracht Frankfurt's Hugo Ekitike, a 22-year-old with 22 goals, has also joined for £85 million, forming a lethal attack with Matheus Cunha's £62.5 million signing, says ESPN. Despite Spurs' late push for Mbeumo and Arsenal's interest in Ekitike Gyökeres, Ruben Amorim's £227.5 million overhaul is set to dominate 2025-26. X is buzzing with United fans.
So that's one to keep an eye on. They do like him, but we'll have to wait and see. There's kudos from West Ham, they like as well. But yeah, it's a really, I mean, we say it all the time, I know we do, but it's a big summer because Spurs jug like Europa League and Premier League. They put all the eggs in the Europa League basket last year, and Ange Postecoglou will say, well, I got it right, didn't I? You can't do that in the Premier League and Champions League next season, so they need a better squad.
Okay, we shall see. Right, plenty more to come. Back to the transfer show, and a reminder of the big breaking news. Florian Wirtz is now a Liverpool player. The deal includes a guaranteed £100 million and a further £16 million in add-ons. Should those add-ons be achieved, Wirtz's move to Anfield would become a British transfer record. Well, Wirtz, who is 22, has signed a long-term deal at Anfield, and we can hear from him now.
So, Florian, it's done. You're finally a Liverpool player. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel very happy and very proud. And yeah, finally it's done. And yeah, I was waiting for a long time, and yeah,